What's up, Boulder, Colorado?
No. Don't take my quotes and run with it. It was
Today we've got several great news stories for you, so we're going to make like a wedgie and hope that you dig us. Our main story today is about Coach Prime landing another massive piece for this Colorado team in 2024. And this wasn't some small fish. He took away one from Southern Cal, Florida State, and other major programs. Plus, we're going to talk about how Colorado got completely robbed by the Pac-12 this year and a few other great stories. It's early, but grab you a mixed drink, sit back, and get ready because this is the prime time for college football. Now, our first story today, we're going to talk about Coach Prime landing arguably his second biggest recruit in Colorado. And we're talking about Pittsburgh edge Samuel Okunlola. Now, he's a 6'4", 245-pound edge prospect. He had 5 sacks, 6 tackles for losses, a forced fumble in 2023, and several top programs were after this guy, including Southern Cal, Texas A&M, Washington, who's in the playoff, Florida State, who's number 5 right now, Michigan State and their new coaching staff, Ole Miss, who is absolutely killing the transfer portal right now as well, and Missouri, who just landed the nation's number 1 overall recruit today on signing day. Now, Samuel is phenomenal. And when I said that he might be the second biggest recruit that Coach Prime has landed, I don't mean just physically. Obviously, he was going to land Travis, and he was going to land Shador, and some of those guys that came along with him. I'm not really counting those guys that came from Jackson State. But outside of landing Cormani last year and seeing this year, this is a massive, massive pickup. This guy is going to step in and be a day one type starter for the Buffs. He probably would have been that anywhere he went, whether it was Texas A&M, USC, Washington, wherever. He has a very high motor. He is very athletic. Everyone in the portal wanted this kid. He's one of the best prospects in the portal, according to both On3 and 247. He took visits, none of them to Colorado, and ended up announcing for the Buffs. This is huge. We talked about the offensive line guys. We had one offensive line guy decommit. We haven't talked about that just yet. We may revisit that in another video, but they did really well on the offensive line. But the question that you guys kept asking and the question that a lot of people had was, what about the defensive side of the ball? What about the trenches over there? And some of those questions have been answered. Samuel is not the first defensive line commit, but I do think he is the biggest. This kid is a massive deal, and everyone who needed an edge prospect wanted this kid. Huge, huge pickup for Coach Prime and the Buffs. Today is signing day. Don't be surprised if we're back on here talking with you a little bit later about other big pickups, but this one got the signing day started off right. It happened on Saturday. It happened last night, not on Saturday. Happened last night, but here on signing day, we got started off with some really good news. Make sure that you're subscribed. I expect more good news to happen today, and I don't want you to miss it. Coach Prime has had a few aces up his sleeve already here in December, and you don't want to miss the ones that are coming up next. So hit that subscribe button. I do have a quick favor to ask you. If you're already subscribed, can you go down to the comments and let Samuel know how happy you are to have him joining our Buffs? Send him a big welcome. We'll send this video over to him, so be on your best behavior down in the comments today. Next, let's talk about Colorado getting robbed by the Pac-12. Well, the Pac-12 is dead, but there's nothing like beating a dead horse, and I guess that's what we'll do today. Yesterday, the list of the most watched teams dropped with numbers throughout the entire year. Colorado finished number 3 on this list, which is absolutely amazing. However, Coach Prime basically kicked all of the haters and doubters in the teeth when he finished number 3. But Colorado should have had the number 1 spot, and they were robbed of that by the Pac-12. How many games did Colorado have that started at 11 p.m. Eastern time, basically eliminating that East Coast audience? I remember 3 or 4 games like that. How many games did Colorado have where you had to turn it back to the Napster days and pirate them off of YouTube because they weren't on national TV? Multiple times that happened throughout the year, and Colorado absolutely got robbed here. They would have beaten Alabama and Ohio State for the most viewed team. Now, Finishing third is still an accomplishment, and I'm not trying to take away from that at all. I'm very proud of the attention that Colorado got this season. But if the Pac-12 had any leadership vision at all, Colorado would have been an easy one. If you just average the games that people could actually find them and see them, and the games that happened at a decent hour, Colorado blows everyone away. But Alabama and Ohio State play on the East Coast, right? And so everyone sees all of their games. Alabama's never going to have a game that starts at 11 p.m. or near midnight or finishes at 4 a.m. That's just not what happens. It's still a remarkable accomplishment, but this is part of why the Pac-12 no longer exists. Their leadership and their TV deal, all of this conference realignment stuff comes down to TV money. Their leadership just didn't have it together. But with a move to the Big 12, just watch what the numbers look like next year. Just watch what the records are that are set by Coach Prime and this program next season. So what do you guys think? Do you think Colorado got robbed? Let us know down in the comments. We'd love to talk about it. Again, we're sending this video to Samuel. Be on your best behavior down there. I'm asking you. It's signing day. Let's be nice. All right. Finally, let's talk about the releasing of Colorado's future opponents. Now, recently they announced that they were adding a few teams. Delaware in 2025, Weber State in 2026, Northern Illinois in 2027, and Northern Colorado in 2028 and 2031. Now, I know what you're thinking. None of these matchups are very exciting. You're not excited to see any of them. But I will tell you this. It is important that a couple of things happen. Number one, you have to add games like this to your schedule. You have to add games that you know you're going to win in order to get some of those live practice reps against other teams. These are very vital for a program. There's a reason that Coach Prime in Colorado strategically added these and announced these, and there's a reason that these games are happening. It doesn't just benefit Colorado, though. This is how some of these programs get their entire athletic budget for the year, by playing in some of these big games. And it's a big deal for them. And it's a big deal for their kids and their recruits and their families to be able to play against Colorado. You guys may not remember, but Northern Illinois is just about 10 years removed from playing in an Orange Bowl against Florida State in 2012. They're a program that could potentially look to get back. And I think this is a big deal. There's a reason that Colorado strategically announced this and released this. And I'm excited to see these games. I'm excited for Colorado to have some sure wins on the schedule as well. Last year's schedule was absolutely brutal with no easy weeks. We'll have a few changes to that as we continue to see the team get better and as we schedule some of this lower competition. Now listen, it is signing day. So make sure that you're locked in. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you're part of the channel. We probably have more videos dropping today. You don't want to miss those. You don't want to miss out on what we've got cooking here at the prime time for college football.